Doing my job is sometimes made very easy for me by dum-dums in the Republican Party. And the Republican Party is chock full to the gills, up to here. You pick a metaphor, a descriptor. I mean, you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course. You got Eli Crane. You got Clay Higgins. You got Marsha Blackburn, Tommy Tuberville. There's a host. Lauren Boebert may be among the most stupid of an already stupid group. And I'm not saying this because she dropped out of high school, never got a high school diploma, got her GED after multiple attempts. I'm not saying it because of that. Because you can be very intelligent having not graduated high school, being a dropout, for sure. It just takes some measure of being an autodidact, I guess. It takes some measure, certainly, of intellectual curiosity. I didn't have some accelerated or exalted education at all. Public educated in small, tiny, mountain town Idaho schools. I had English teachers who used double negatives on the regular. It wasn't great. But I have endeavored throughout my entire adult life to become more educated, to read as much as I can, to consume as much information, to change my mind when necessary. Now I'm rambling a little bit. Let's talk about Lauren Boebert and her performance yesterday in committee, where she's desperate to sound intelligent, yet just doesn't have the requisite power inside her skull to get it done. I have two clips. The second one is really where we're going to dive into some definitions because she is clearly just dangerously stupid. The first, though, is her trying to pass off that she was in the courtroom and look, Donald Trump, she saw it for herself. He's not sleeping. Donald Trump, when he has his eyes closed, is praying to the Almighty God while in court. You might have to see it to believe it, so here you go.
So every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping. As you say, I think he's praying. But if he is sleeping, he certainly looks pretty while he sleeps. Maybe it's an endearing moment of prayer, though. I know when I fall asleep on airplanes, my mouth kind of drops open. And, his mouth is kind of tight-lipped. So maybe it's just a somber moment of
he's
thought.
sleeping. It's been reported by multiple press outlets.
I was in the courtroom today,
sleeping.
and I do. I could see why someone would fall asleep, just like George Conway fell asleep today in the court hearing. It's kind of slow in there. It's not as exciting as the House Oversight Committee, but I just wanted to say that's a lovely picture you have of President Trump, Mr. Garcia. Thank you, and I yield.
Gentlelady.
So I guess the enduring question is, does she actually believe it? Is she so stupid that she believes Donald Trump is praying to some deity? Or does she understand the base well enough to know that they're stupid enough to believe it? Or is it some other answer that I just haven't put my finger on yet? I don't know. But that is a bizarre take if I've ever heard one, coming from a bizarre individual. Now here is another one where she's touting Donald Trump's cognitive ability. And she does what conservatives constantly do, and it's bring up the MOCA, this cognitive test that Donald Trump has taken multiple times, which isn't an IQ test. It's not to measure his competency relative to how smart he is or his aptitude or his ability to learn what he knows. It's none of that. It's to spot problems in memory early on, or to assess just how degraded someone's cognitive ability is relative to Alzheimer's and memory health. It in no way is a test that you ace. That's not what it is. But here she is talking about Donald Trump's taken all kinds of tests to test his cognitive dissidence. No, not the word. It's not the word she intended to say, and the word she intended to say isn't even the word that means what she thinks it means. There's layers of jackassery here that we're having to wade through. Watch this.
President Trump, when he was in office, he underwent testing for his cognitive dissonance, for his ability to function as president of the United States, as the commander-in-chief. And unfortunately, I haven't seen Joe Biden even read a teleprompter properly.
Trump underwent testing for his cognitive dissonance, and she hasn't seen Joe Biden. The last flub, that's just unfortunate when you're trying to get a jab in and then you fumble your words. That's the worst. I do it all the time. I get it. I feel your pain, Lauren. So cognitive dissonance is the word she was attempting to say, but she ended up saying dissident, like someone who's escaping a country because they believe different things. Here's what cognitive dissonance is: the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. That's what she meant to say, which isn't what the test does. It doesn't measure. It's not testing his cognitive dissonance. The word she used rather than dissonance, though, was dissident, which is a person who opposes official policy, especially that of an authoritarian state. During the 80s, during the Cold War, there were all kinds of Russian dissidents that were seeking asylum, trying to break free of the Soviet Union and come here to the United States. That's what the word that she actually said. None of it's right. She would be well served in reading some books. And look, Lauren, bring it in, sister. You don't have to start with heavy reading. You can start with See Spot Run. You can start with Everybody Poops. You could start with something a little easier, a little bit more aligned with your ability and your current status. And then you can build up to larger, more hefty, cognitively loaded, if you will, books to teach yourself, to learn, to continue to grow and become a better person. All of these things I'm certain you're not interested in. Anyway, you can go away now. Lesson over. I wish I had unlimited resources. I would send her books to her office, but I have no time for that. I don't have the inclination. I don't have the money to be doing that, but it would be a good joke. Anyway, what do you think? I would love to know if you are in Colorado, in her district, old or potential new district. I would love to know. We can talk about this in the comments below. You can also leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily@dollemore.com. I would ask that you consider partnering with me to help me make this content. Click the join button below for $2 a month. You can become a channel member right here on YouTube. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support this work. Sometimes it is more funny and more poking fun. Other times it's serious, like with the remainder of my videos today. Follow me on social media. I'd love to see you there. I'm at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine, read some books, and take care of one another.